Summer camp may be over for most kids, but camp for the Seattle Kraken kids just had its opening day. Hello, everyone. I'm Glenn Dreyfus. 17 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 2 goalies took their first twirls around the rinks at Kraken Community Iceplex. Rookie camp continues at KCI Friday and then resumes on Tuesday. In between, the rookies will fly to LA to play games against rookie squads from the Avalanche on Saturday and Golden Knights on Sunday. If there can be such a thing as a veteran of rookie camp, that's 2022 first-round pick Shane Wright, who must be about 42 by now. What? I'm being told he's still only 20. And he has taken on a mentorship role.
What's it like being the old guy?
I don't really feel like the old guy. Obviously it's my third camp here, so trying to be a mentor, be a bit of a leader for the younger guys coming in, and kind of help them out, help them through the process and coming into camp here. But I wouldn't say I don't really feel old. Still feel like one of the younger guys, but it's good.
You didn't say to them like back in my day.
No, not quite. No, we're not there yet. I just want to make the guys coming in, the new guys, as comfortable as possible. Obviously, I was in their shoes just a few years ago, so I understand what it's like coming to your first camp. Maybe a little nervous. You're playing against the NHL players for the first time, so just want to make it as comfortable, easy for them as possible. Really, just kind of make that that transition really easy, and help them acclimatize themselves to this situation here.
2 years after Wright, the Kraken used their 2024 first-round pick on another prize centerman, Berkly Catton, who's already had one camp thrill, meeting fellow Saskatchewan native and Kraken veteran Jordan Eberle.
If you haven't already said this to Jordan, make sure to tell him that you enjoyed watching him since you were a little boy. He'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, you could probably tell by how starstruck I was when I saw him. But I mentioned just he probably hears it a million times from all us Canadian guys and the World Juniors and stuff. So I kind of kept away the first time meeting him, but I'm sure he could tell.
You've talked about wanting to play in the NHL this year. How disappointed would you be if that doesn't happen, or if it's only for a handful of games?
Yeah, well, I'm wherever my feet are at. So if I go through this camp and impress and play some NHL hockey games, good for me. That's obviously what I'm striving for. I don't know why would really shoot for anything less than that. And then going back would just be like I was kind of mentioning, all the experience I learned here would go back. So either way, in my eyes, it's a positive, and I'm just extremely happy to be here.
Well, they're certainly rooting for you to come back to Spokane.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
Leading drills was newly named Coachella Valley Firebirds coach Derek Laxdal, who filled the opening when Dan Bilesma was promoted to bench boss in Seattle.
Coach, how much adjustment did you have to make to your systems to make sure they're compatible with Dan's systems, so that when the players from Coachella get called up, they're playing the same way?
That's a great question. We are going to run the exact same systems that Dan's going to run here. I think that's part of the process for these kids. It makes it easier for when they get called up. There's no gray area for them. So we're going to run all the systems the same way.
But were your systems, when you were a head coach in the CHL, different from what Dan? Have you had to make adjustments?
Yeah, I'll make adjustments. It's not that hard. At the end of the day, it's there's only like 4 or 5 systems, but there's different ways to play them, different ways to teach them. So I want to make sure that the terminology is the same. Some of my terminology is different. So I have to make those adjustments to make sure that the players that are in Coachella Valley, when they get called up, they understand that there's no gray area when they come up to Seattle.
What will you be telling the players who haven't experienced pro hockey before?
The players that played for me in Oshawa were very lucky because I teach a pro-style game. I try and get these players prepared in the junior level for the next level. That jump from Canadian Major Junior or NCAA is a huge jump. To go from there even to the ECHL, to the East Coast League, is a huge transition. So it's off-ice preparation, it's your daily habits, it's your on-ice preparation. And that's why we have the American Hockey League, is because these players get a chance to go down there and refine their game on and off the ice and become the pros. You know, they learn to get bigger, stronger. They change with their nutrition. So it's a huge jump. And so for the players, like Shane Wright's a great example. He was down in the American Hockey League. He's still young. He's 20 years old. He's down there refining his game. Now he's put the work in. He's gotten big, stronger, faster. He's learning the game. He's maturing. And I think that's the biggest difference for these kids. They're going to learn how to mature at the American Hockey League level. I think one GM that I had, he used the references, it's like an orange on an orange tree, right? They go down there, they have to go down, and when they're ripe, they're ready to go. You have to build your team through the draft. And now you're going to start to see 3 years into the NHL, now you're starting to see some of the prospects come through. You've got the Nelsons, you've got the Goyettes, you've got the Ferguses. I think that's exciting for the Seattle fans.
You know the old saying, from tiny acorns do mighty hockey franchises grow. Or maybe that was oranges, not acorns. I'm Glenn Dreyfus for Davy Jones Locker Room.